So hello there people, I'm just going to go through me helmet setup again as it's changed slightly, and I'll also go through me GoPro settings on the phone, just so as you can see what settings I'm using myself. Maybe give you some ideas. I've got absolutely no idea what I'm doing, to be quite honest, but found that the settings that I had on my last video when I was out on the bike, pretty good, you know what I mean? So if you want to get them sort of results, you know, this is how I've managed to do it. So as I say, I'm using the GoPro Hero 7 now. Great camera. Of course, you still got that problem with the blooming GoPro mic adapter, but with this Ulanzi vlogging cage or frame, whatever you want to call it, it's pretty good. That's the one I've got, the V2. It actually comes with a cold shoe for the top there as well, but it has a cold shoe and an extension sort of thing. Only thing I would say about this vlogging cage is it's quite hard to get at the screen. I don't know if you can see the gap there, you know, but to get to the edges to swipe open menus and stuff, it's a little bit difficult to get at it. I'm still using the DJI mount. I like that DJI mount. A good thing about it is I can still get the camera out of the cage with the DJI mount, whereas with the GoPro mount you can't. Yeah, it's the mount actually gets in the way depending on how high or low that you have it. So as you can see, we can still get in at the camera. So I've actually got one of me ND filters on there at the moment, the ND16 filter. So I'll put it back in and we'll look at a lot of the other things that you might need. Not least of all, a microphone. Now the microphone, it's down to yourselves what sort of microphone you use. I'll show you what I use and you can make a decision as to whether you want to use that setup or not, but it involves a little bit of work. So these are my microphones here. They are Sena microphones, which I purchased off eBay, and they are spliced into a TRS 3.5mm jack. So it's a fairly straightforward operation to do that. Whether you actually solder them or not, that's up to you. You could just thingy them together, you know what I mean, but I've soldered mine into there, just tinned them up and then put a bit of heat on them and they're fine. And then I've covered it with some of that shrinking tubular stuff, which works quite well. Okay, the one with the white spot on there is my left microphone. I marked that up before I took it out, just so as I wasn't going to be messing about. I've also got some of that shrink wrap tube to keep those wires together. The other wire that you can see there is just for my power, which is at the back of my helmet, and I'll show you that in a minute as well. So other options might be like this JK mic. A lot of people are going for the Purple Panda microphone, which is it's a good microphone, you know, don't get us wrong. I didn't have much success with it myself, so I stopped using it. But this JK mic was pretty good, and that's just stuck onto a bit of Velcro. Again, that's Sena. And that's stuck on with these Rycourt overcovers, and the Dead Cat is the Rycourt Dead Cat. And all these are just like a sticky sort of, well, a double-sided sticky pad really, much like the stuff that they use for sticking the GoPro mounts onto things, you know, that sort of thing. Yeah, handy little packs them. And they only cost a few quid off eBay, so anybody using microphones, I would recommend them have a go with those. So as I say, just called Rycoat overcovers. The mount, again, I've already explained it in another video, but that's mounted to my helmet with this Subaru moldable glue, which comes in a pack of like this, and there's actually 3 of these sachets in each pack. I used 1.5 to put that on me helmet, and as you can see, it's a nice neat job, you know. And I think I said in the last video that I did of my setup, I didn't think it was going to hold, to be honest, but it's absolutely solid, like, you know, that is going nowhere. So what we need to do now is we need to mount the wires into the helmet. I'll just get some of this crap out the road. And we just mount these into the cheek pad, just like this, and making sure that the mics are in the right place from my point of view, you know, that I've got the left on the left and the right on the right, but putting it in a position where you'll find it comfortable, you know what I mean? Whether that be inside the pad or whatever, or inside the cheek pad, should I say, or whatever, you know, that's entirely up to you. What you do need to make sure of when you route the wires is that you don't get them trapped anywhere that's going to damage them, you know, like in the clips for the cheek pad and what have you. There we go, that's them in there. So then it's just a case of routing wires so as they don't get trapped. And for the main wires, I always put them right down the bottom of the pad. I don't actually take the pad out generally. Just make sure that's not gonna get trapped in there. And obviously it's worth taking a little bit of time over this, just so as it's you don't damage any wires or trap them or anything, or cause yourself any problems from the point of view of being able to take the cheek pads off in emergency. And but mostly for comfort, like, it has to be said. So there we go. Actually got that a bit tangled up there, actually, so. But like I say, it's worth taking a little bit of time just to get it in as neat as possible. There we have it. Clip that into place. There we go. So that's that sorted from that point of view. All I need now is a little bit of tape just to hold that wire for the microphone on the left hand side, which this was the piece of tape that had in it originally. There's no point in thinking it, because this stuff is reusable. And that's my microphones in, and my power lead attached. So there we have it. Obviously then we'll put the camera on along with everything. Obviously you're going to have to take the door off your camera for this to get in there, get in, thank you. Well, not to work, but you know what I mean. For it to take the microphone adapter, and then I'll just need a little bit of sorting out that, just to pull the wires through a bit, just to get everything tickety-boo. There we go. I'll do for the moment. I'll sort that out in a minute. But and then the next thing I would do is I use a battery pack just to extend the life of the camera while I'm recording, and that just goes on the back like that, and it gets plugged in like that. And that's my setup for the helmet. You see, it's pretty neat, and it doesn't interfere much when I'm turning my head round or anything like that. Pretty good in that respect. So that's it. So just another thing while I'm here, this is my GoPro Hero 5 session. With both of these I'm using ND filters. I'm using the camera butter ND filters, which are a pretty good filter, to be quite honest. You know, they are glass, and they don't actually stick. Well, they do stick to your lens, but only round the outside, so you've got no glue or anything that's affecting the picture. And they're reasonably secure. I don't think they're going to come off in the wind or anything like that. And yeah, great filters. So that's camera butter. And I've got an ND8, I've got an ND4. I don't know why I've got an ND4, to be quite honest. I'll never need it. And I've got some sticky surrounds as well. This is what the sticky part of it actually looks like. I'll just get one of these out. So as you can see, that's the amount of stickiness you've got around the camera, which I think is pretty cool. Like I say, it's not a good idea to have glue on your lens, because obviously it affects out what light's coming in. The extendable battery that I've got on there, actually, I can't remember the name for it. I'll put it in the description. But it comes with a cage and everything. I'll just take this apart so that I can show you. That's the cage for it. Excellent stuff. And that's the battery. Really neat solution. Like I say, I can't remember the name of the company that makes this, but I will put it in the description for you. And you keep the door on, and you just whack them together like that, and then put them in whichever housing you want. It comes with two housings. It comes with a waterproof housing, which doesn't work with the camera butter ND filters, although I suppose you could put the ND filter onto the housing. I use this filter, which is this cage, which is much the same as the GoPro one that comes with the camera, except it's bigger, of course, so as it can take the battery as well. and you just put it in exactly the same way. Make sure that it's not trapped or anything, and it's gonna clip over okay without cracking or anything. And boom, there we have it. And I've got that on a ball ram mount, which I've now got on the the mirror on the bike. Filters wise, on the GoPro Hero 7, as I say, I'm using the Polar Pro filters. These are excellent quality. I'm not sure whether they're worth £100, mind, but they're excellent quality. Not just from a build quality, but also from the image quality as well. They're just fantastic. That's the original filter cover, the original lens cover off the GoPro. As you can see, it's got an O-ring on that. Now, the Polar Pro filters are slightly different from that point of view, because they have these thick O-rings here which actually slip over the lens in the camera before you put the filter on, and they just twist on. It's only about 1/8 of a turn that you need to turn them as well. So they're also easier to get on and off than the actual GoPro lens protector. So from that point of view, excellent. And like I say, very good quality. Come in a nice quality case as well, with a cleaning cloth. Yeah, and a nice, like I say, a nice case. It's magnetic. And you can slip in your pocket when you go out on the bike or whatever, or in your backpack, and so on. So yep, that's me setup with the GoPro Hero 7. You can see it is a little bit bulky. You know, I wish I could use my DJI Osmo, but to be quite honest, there's not a lot of difference in size. Obviously the DJI Osmo with that little sign over microphone adapter, which I'm actually using to do this video, is a lovely compact setup, but as I say, the audio on it is just rubbish. You know, from the point of view of using it on the bike, it is just rubbish. So that's that. So what I'll go on to now is I'll go into the different settings that I use on each of these different cameras, the GoPro Hero 5 and the GoPro Hero 7. So I'll be back in a moment. So I'm going to start off with the GoPro Hero 5. So this is the settings that I have for the GoPro Hero 5. So I assume you'll know everything about, you know, how to use the GoPro app and what have you. So find your GoPro Hero 5, connect to the camera. This will take a little minute, this usually does. There we go, starting to connect now. So obviously you have to have your camera set up in the app, and this will take a little moment. There we go. So once you're in there, go to the settings, and these are my settings that I use. I use 2.7K. I use 30 frames per second. I'm in super view. I have on the GoPro Hero 5, I'll always have the stabilization on. So the video stabilization is on. I don't use the spot meter. Obviously out on the bike, you're not you know, you're not in like dark situations looking out into the light, unless you're in a tunnel, of course. I have Pro Tune on. White balance 5500K. The colour I have is GoPro. Right, there are options there. You know, if you're going to do stuff in post, then I would probably have it on native and the GoPro colour flat. You know what I mean? But I don't do anything in post, so I have it on 5500K and I have it GoPro colour, which looks pretty nice. Shutter speed is 1/60. That's using that 180 rule, which is twice the, you know, if you, for example, shooting in 30 frames per second, which I always do, then you would have the shutter speed at 1/60. The ISO limit on here I've got as 400, and the ISO mode is max. You know, you have two options on the Hero 5. You've got lock, right, so you can actually lock your ISO, you know, and then you've got the options of having it from 100 to, is it 1600? Yeah, 1600. Okay, but I like a little bit of movement just to give the camera a bit of leeway. So I put it on max and I set it at 400, so it can go from 100 ISO up to 400. Sharpness I have on medium. And that's it really. The only other things, auto rotation I always have in the up position. Default mode video, so when you switch it on it goes straight to video. Language, voice control I don't use. LED blink I have on so as I can see that it's recording. Beeps high so as I can hear it. The video format I always have in NTSC. Even though I'm in a PAL area, because I'm outside, it doesn't make a big difference really. So yeah, and that's it really. So let's move on to the GoPro Hero 7 Black. So again, in the app, go to whatever camera you want and connect to that camera. Again, this will take a little while. There we go, so we're connected. And go into settings again, and it's pretty much the same. So I've got my aspect ratio at 16/9, resolution 2.7K. You know, you could put it on 4.3, but I don't. You know, that gives you a bit of a chance to set the aspect ratio so as you can go up and down, if you know what I mean. Particularly when you're setting up your camera, that's quite handy to use. You know, you can see whether your camera's too high, too low, but you still can use the footage. Frames per second 30, super view again, video stabilization I've got on, because I'm still testing that, and I thought my last video that I did with this, well, the first video in fact, it looked okay. Short clip I've got off. Pro Tune, again, you've got to have Pro Tune on to get all these different settings. Shutter speed should be on 1/60. So there we go. And ISO minimum 100, ISO maximum 400. I've got the white balance at 5000 Kelvin. Sharpness medium. Color GoPro. And audio Pro Tune. I'm going to try that out soon because there's a few options in there. You know, you can if you have this on, you know, either low, medium or high, it'll actually give you a separate audio clip. It's a WAV file, and it'll do processing depending on which one of these you use, so you can get rid of wind noise and all that sort of carry on actually in the camera. So you know, I'm going to try that out, but I haven't tried it yet. Audio on auto. This is just to do with mics and what have you. This well, sorry, no, it isn't. It's to do with wind and stereo only. I just have it on auto for that. And other setups on that. That's it really. I don't think there's anything else. Quick capture I have on. The LED blink, I have the front LED off on this, on the Hero 7. And sounds like the dog's dreaming. Auto off never, screensaver 3 minutes, blah de blah de blah. Again, it's all much the same then. Audio output I have on standard mic, because I'm just using a little, you know, the lavalier mics that I've already shown you, and still using NTSC. So that's my settings in the GoPro, both the Hero 5 Session and the Hero 7 Black. So, thanks for watching. So those are my settings. Thanks for watching. I hope this has been useful to people out there. And if you're out on the bike at the moment, be careful, ride carefully out there, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. So take care everybody, and again, thanks for watching.